Deep in the heart of the Ardennes forest, there lies a racetrack that goes around 3 villages. Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for round 7 of the 2020 season. We moved away from the Barcelona circuit to the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. It's the 7th round of the season. Welcome to the Belgium Grand Prix in the heart of the Ardennes forest. We now have a completed calendar. After Belgium, we head off to Italy and Tuscany to complete our next head of triple headers before the Russian Grand Prix, and then we begin with the Eiffel Grand Prix at the Nürburgring, Portugal, and Emilia-Romagna is at the Imola circuit. Then we get Turkey now back on the calendar on the 13th of November, Bahrain, Shakir on the outer circuit, and the season rounds out at Abu Dhabi on the 13th of December. Christmas is coming. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton leads the way on 132 points. He's 37 clear of Max Verstappen. Then we get Valtteri Bottas, Charles Leclerc. A battle between Stroll, Albon and Norris is closing. Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo rounds out the top 10 of the point-scoring positions. On the second page, Sebastian Vettel is on 16 points, the same as Esteban Ocon. Pierre Gasly, Nico Hülkenberg 14th, Antonio Giovinazzi, Danica Kvyat, Kevin Magnussen, and no points on the board still for Kimi Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi, George Russell or Romain Grosjean, all pointless so far in the 2020 campaign. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way, 221 points ahead, 86 to Aston Martin Red Bull. The battle between Racing Point, McLaren and Ferrari is closing, just 1 point between each of them. Then we get Renault, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, Haas F1 and Williams is still pointless in 2020 but have got a lifeline as they've just got a new owner to inject some cash into the team. Hello everyone, welcome to the Sunday Race Preview Show. I'm delighted to say that we're back in our original location, and alongside me in the presenting area is Megan Birch. Megan, welcome back to the programme. Yes, you were on Friday, but welcome back to the actual programme. You've been away for a couple of weeks, but
Yes, I have.
Biggest question is, what do you think of the weather today in Spa? Because there's a high chance of rain, but then again, when we say that, it almost never rains here.
Yeah, I think it's a bit unlikely, though then again it all depends on the pressure and, whether it rains much in the year. You just got to take into account all the variables, and I don't think it will rain, to be honest.
Yeah, 70% chance it will rain, but that's after the race. During the race, anything could happen. But it is the land of the four seasons, really, this track. Anything can happen at any moment in time. So the main question is, pole position for Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas alongside him. Could this day be a day for Max Verstappen to win a Grand Prix again this year?
I think maybe it will be.
Spa isn't necessarily Hamilton's dominant spot in Formula One. He's won here a couple of times, but he's had 6 pole positions now. Is this really going to be his day to clinch another victory? And he's ever questing go for title. He's 37 points clear of Verstappen. If he wins today, that could go up to 43. What do you think?
I don't really know, and it's just all up in the air at the moment. I've been looking at Verstappen, and Verstappen's been doing quite good this weekend. Hamilton's been doing okay, though. To be honest,
he knocked it out of the park with pole position, yeah.
Also, I would have liked to see Leclerc win again this weekend. The Ferrari this weekend have just been... Oof, no, you don't want to go there.
No, what was it? Leclerc starts 13th, Vettel starts 14th, one of the lowest positions ever at this circuit. Contrary to a year ago, Megan, where it was victory for Leclerc, it was all FP3 sessions topped, all qualifying topped, and then the race victory as well. And now, a year later to the day, they're right at the back of the field almost. All Ferrari cars struggling.
It's almost like they've swapped with McLaren.
It really is weird, isn't it? Yeah. How much of that, though, is the illegal aspect of their car from last year that gave them an advantage? Because they've lost so much engine performance pace. And we're going to Monza next week.
About 65%.
We're off to Monza next week. It's a high-speed circuit, their home track. A week later, we celebrate their 1,000th race at Mugello, a track they own. Are they going to be a bit egg on their face here that they're not performing well?
Probably. I mean, they haven't been performing well all season, to be honest.
Do you reckon that they could even get into the points today? I mean, it's Renault and McLaren, as you said, they've been going up there today.
Yeah, I reckon they'll get into the points, so not many points.
9th and 10th positions, that's 2 and 1.
Probably. I keep seeing 8th mainly.
They're 5th in the Constructors' Championship at the moment. They're 1 point in a battle with Racing Point and McLaren. It's not going to go well.
When was the last time they were in 5th?
Must be about 2014. Must be right at the start of this hybrid area. Anyway, let's take a quick look then around Spa-Francorchamps with Lap Attack. Let's take a look at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium. 4.352 miles, 7.004 kilometres, 19 turns, 2 DRS points, the longest track of the year and the highest elevation change. On board with last year's Mercedes as we start the lap, hurtling downhill towards the first gear, Le Saul's hairpin. It's changed a couple of times over the years, but it's still a challenge. Get it wrong, you're out wide. Drop downhill now past the old pit lane that the Formula 2 and Formula 3 use before the little Quinquina Rouge up the hill towards Radion. The car wants to oversteer, correct it as you blast down the Kemmel straight. Open up the DRS, full 8th gear as you'll hurtle down now the Kemmel straight into the Lacombe chicane. Brake hard, 5th gear, brake to 4th if you feel like the rears just aren't up to temperature yet as you come into Malmedy before you drop down the hill once again. 5th gear, 6th gear, raise it down to about 4th gear as you come into Ravage. This turn used to be called No Name. Now it's the Jackie X corner at turn 9 before a quick flick. Once again downhill, continuous left-hander at turn number 10 called Puon. The car wants to flick you out wide, control it, taking the harder apex as you come up to the Fagnes chicane. This is quite a tricky one as the car wants to constantly punish you, but keep the tyres on, keep the track in your sights and you will do well. Into Stavolo 1. Nice, calm, collected. Blast off now through the curve to Paul Freire or Stavolo 2 before you back onto what used to be a public road and the old circuit as you head down towards Blanchimont, the fast king, the fastest corner on the calendar, almost rivaling Suzuka at 130R before you come up to the bus stop chicane, revised quite a lot since its original form. Now it is a right, then a left to complete the lap. Full throttle at the exit, open up the DRS, keep the car towards the left-hand side of the track and you cross the line to complete the lap of Spa-Francorchamps. It's a wonderful circuit, Megan. You do enjoy driving around Spa on the F1 game. I do realise that.
I also like bashing into you on the F1 game.
Yes, constantly not braking situation. Okay, Megan, before we get into the strategy for today's pit stop battle, let's take a look at the qualifying report. So let's start off then, as usual, with the qualifying 1 report. And it was very, very close because the 2 Ferraris just got through to the second part of qualifying. Big rumours after they were 17th and 20th in the third practice session. Would they actually manage to get it through the first part of qualifying? Answer yes. They used a higher mode of the engine, followed by quicker tyres compared to the rest of the field. Cheating? No. Against the rules from the next race? Yes. Is that bad news for Ferrari? Yes, indeed. Because now we will see that at Monza, if they don't get through from qualifying 1, we now know that they used a higher engine for sure in this session. But it was the biggest irony of all. They managed to get through. It wasn't looking great on the first run though. Vettel in the drop zone. Ferrari uncomfortable as they tried to get as many big advantages they possibly could from everything. But Vettel and Leclerc 13th and 15th to get through to the next session. The big losses, though, from the first one. Kimi Raikkonen just missed out as well. He was 16th fastest overall. Giovinazzi was 18th overall as well. 2 places separated the two as well. George Russell managed to get through to qualifying 2 after his little bit of a sideways moment last time out at the Spanish Grand Prix. He managed to get himself back into contention for Q2 positions, which is great news as Williams have got new owners. Haas starts in the top 10 with both cars at Spa for the same record of getting through to the next part of the qualifying for the first time since 2018, of course. Hamilton was quickest in the first session though, but knocked out was Raikkonen, Grosjean, Giovinazzi, Latifi and Magnussen. Ferrari cars very much outside of the top 10. On to qualifying 2 then. Albon impresses, but Mercedes had the absolute dominance. They turned their cars up to 11 and had party mode enabled in Q2. Everyone's starting on the soft compound tyre though in the top 10. So contrary to what we've seen in the previous races at the 70th anniversary and the Spanish Grand Prix, it seems to me that this tyre can now actually be used. Sergio Perez and Lance Stroll had to box. They tried to run on the medium tyres but then had to fit the soft compound tyres as well. Carlos Sainz went very, very well. So did Albon. But Ferrari tried to get through qualifying 1, succeeded. Tried to get through qualifying 2, failed. Yes, failed. Leclerc starts 13th, 14th for Vettel. Ferrari eliminated for the first time in qualifying 2 for quite a number of years in the dry situation of things. So that's absolutely amazing for Ferrari's fall from grace, topping every single session last year, all 3 qualifyings, all 3 practice sessions, fastest lap and the race victory as well for Charles Leclerc. And now, a year later, exactly a year later, they are absolutely nowhere. Shocking is beyond belief. But it was Mercedes had the pace over the field as well, and Racing Points were close behind. Verstappen able to just make the car work going forward. So kicked out the 2 Alfa Tauris, the 2 Ferraris and George Russell. That is Williams, of course. So it's Danica Kvyat, Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel and George Russell eliminated from Q2. On to Q3 then, and one of the best laps I've ever seen from Lewis Hamilton. It's not 7/10 or a full second, but it was 5/10 of a second around Spa-Francorchamps, and a new track record that Lewis Hamilton was able to outqualify Valtteri Bottas with. A superb session from Hamilton. Fastest overall in the first runs, faster in the second runs as well. He was just absolutely fantastic, nailing every single apex left and right around this circuit. A true dominance overall. But for Valtteri Bottas, it was close, but it wasn't very much going to be his day. He celebrated his 31st birthday yesterday. Wanted pole position, unfortunately didn't get it overall. Verstappen was closer than he expected to be, but he now starts on row 2 alongside Daniel Ricciardo and Esteban Ocon. For some reason, the Renaults are just working. 5 teams out of the 10 in Q3. That's impressive to say the least, but still, for some reason, these cars, the Renaults, working so well here this weekend. Norris outplaced by Sainz in his Q3 appearance as well, but the two Mercedes inside the top 4 every race so far this year. A dominant performance from Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes. But what's going to happen next? Well, let's head back over to the front studio for the grid. A fantastic qualifying then for Lewis Hamilton. Let's take a look at the starting grid then. Hamilton on pole position on row 1. He's alongside Valtteri Bottas. The second row, Max Verstappen alongside Daniel Ricciardo. Megan, Ricciardo starting 4th on the grid in the Renault. They've just found pace and they don't know where it's come from at all.
I agree.
Do you think he could get a podium?
Maybe.
But it seems to be the top 3, the same top 3 again and again.
Yeah.
Row 3, Alexander Albon and Esteban Ocon, so another Red Bull and Renault. Row 4, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez. The 5th row, Lance Stroll and Lando Norris. Lando was on for his best result here last year, Megan. Was on the road to finish 5th before the car broke down. He likes this track. He's raced it a lot. Is he going to get some points and be up there?
I really hope so. I keep thinking maybe he'll get 5th or 4th.
Moving further down, on row 6, Danica Kvyat alongside Pierre Gasly. Then we get an all-Ferrari row 7 with Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel. They've got to improve up today, haven't they?
Yeah, I hope they do.
Then we drop down to row 8, George Russell, Getting through to Q2 once again, Kimi Räikkönen 16th. Row 9 sees Romain Grosjean and Antonio Giovinazzi, and row 10, Nicholas Latifi and Kevin Magnussen.
Surprising.
So, I'll squeeze back over here as we've got the picture back. So then, Megan, pit stop predictions. It's the C2, the hard tyre, the C3, the medium, C4 is the soft. The middle range of tyres for this circuit. They're a step softer than what we had last year, though. What's your pit stop prediction for 44 laps?
44 laps. How long is it, though?
7 kilometre lap. Usually it's a one-stopper, but with softer tyres.
Right, isn't it the shortest race?
Yes.
Right, so if it's a medium tyres, then I think a few people could go for a one-stop if there's no safety cars or hopefully not a red flag. Then again, that's very unlikely nowadays.
Yes.
And I think maybe if people have problems, it may go to a two-stop in some areas. So since it's shortest race, most people will be trying to go for a one-stop. So given that the drama that's been going on, and especially since the Pirelli problem has continued, it's highly likely some people will be having two stops.
Thank you, Megan. So one stop, likely, two stop.
Possible.
Thank you, Megan. Right, me and Megan are off to the commentary box then. Join me and her later on this evening for the Sunday race review for all of the action from the Belgian Grand Prix. Quickly, Megan, top 3 prediction. Who's going to win, second and third?
I'm going to hope it goes Verstappen, Hamilton, Bottas.
1, 2, 3? 1, 2, 3. Nicely done. Right, we'll be back later on this evening. Don't forget the Grand Review podcast is on Wednesday at 8 o'clock, but join us later on tonight for the Sunday race review. It was all here. Bye for now.